Coming up, vetting begins today for President Mahama's newest set of ministerial nominees. Also ahead, a luta continua as CLOGSAG defies directive from Labour Minister to call off strike, arguing the minister's directive lacks a roadmap for addressing their concerns surrounding the appointment of Samuel Adumbotre as Registrar for Births and Deaths. And later, civil society group urges the Interior Ministry and the Small Arms Commission to expedite action in ensuring the National Small Arms Bills is presented in Parliament for consideration.
We're hoping that they will expedite action and get this to the attention of cabinets now, and they will work on it. There are obvious benefits for reviewing the arms and ammunition.
We've got this and more coming right up. Do stay. Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch. You're welcome to the Starr Breakfast News. My name is Nanama Acquah. Now, the Appointments Committee of Parliament will from today hold public hearings to vet President John Mahama's nominees for various ministerial appointments. Now, the hearings, scheduled from Monday, February 24 to Thursday, February 27, 2025, will begin at 9:30 a.m. daily at Committee Rooms 1 and 2 of the Administration Block. Now, the President has nominated 13 deputy ministers to support their respective sectors in driving national development, fulfilling the government's promises, and advancing Ghana's socio-economic agenda. Now, civil society organizations and political analysts have urged the committee to ensure, through scrutiny, focus on integrity, competence, and commitment to national development. Chairperson of the Appointments Committee, First Deputy Speaker Bernard Ahiafo, has assured the public that the vetting process will be transparent and fair, and we will bring you this ministerial vetting as the day and week progresses. Now on to other matters. A luta continua. The Civil and Local Government Staff Association, Ghana, that's CLOGSAG, have defied directives from Labour Minister to call off the strike, arguing the minister's directive lacks a roadmap for addressing their concerns surrounding the appointment of Samuel Adumbotre as Registrar for Births and Deaths. Now, the association embarked on an industrial action on February 20, challenging the appointment of Samuel Adumbotre as Registrar for Births and Deaths. Now, after a series of engagements with the Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, the association says the request lacks a roadmap for the resolution of the matter. Here are excerpts of a statement signed by Executive Secretary of CLOGSAG, Dr. Isaac Bampo Addo.
On 22nd February 2025, the National Executive Council (NEC) of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana CLOGSAG met to consider a request from the Minister of Labour, Jobs and Employment to call off the ongoing strike action by constituents of CLOGSAG. After deliberating on the request to call off the strike, the NEC was unanimous on the following: that the strike should continue, that the request by the Honourable Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment lacks a roadmap for the resolution of the matter, that as long as all politically exposed persons within CLOGSAG are sanctioned and ultimately have their appointments terminated, it will not be fair for politically exposed persons to be appointed into the civil service and the local government service. We wish to state unequivocally that the ongoing strike is not against the authority of the president to appoint officers into the public services as enshrined in Article 195 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. Rather, the association is drawing attention to the Supreme Court's ruling that emphasizes the significance of neutrality, anonymity, professionalism, and permanence in the civil service and the local government service. Meanwhile, the NEC reiterates its position that the ongoing strike should continue.
Now, the proliferation of small arms and heavy weapons has been a major concern with the country's fight against terrorism. Against this background, a civil society group, the West Africa Action Network on Small Arms Ghana, is calling on the Ministry of Interior and Small Arms Commission to expedite action in ensuring the National Arms Bill is signed into law. Now, according to the CSO, the current gun control laws remain the weakest link in ongoing efforts to counter terrorism, money laundering, and combating the proliferation of small and light weapons in the country, as acknowledged by the EU and other international organizations. Now, speaking at a capacity building for journalists organized by Wansa Ghana and the United Nations Development Programme here in Accra, coordinator for Wansa Ghana, Johnson Asantitrum, spoke to Starr News.
This has been there for so long, and the ministry hasn't given any reason why the bill has not been taken to cabinet. As I mentioned before, Parliament has indicated their willingness to work on the bill as soon as it gets there. So it's just a matter of the Ministry of Interior taking the bill to cabinet and getting the approval for it to be taken. And so we're hoping that now that there is a new minister at the Ministry of Interior, and also just hearing that there is a new executive secretary, of course he has also been part of civil society activism to get the bill passed. This has been there for so long.
He also wants the government to put in place mechanisms to cap the number of weapons an individual can own in the country.
I've also mentioned to you some of the loopholes in the bill, which is in the current legislation, which does not provide a cap on the number of weapons an individual can own in this country, for example. And these are matters that we need to look at critically if we want to prevent armed violence in this country. Besides the illegal acquisition, somebody can legally build an armory in his house without violating any law, and that is the kind of law we have. We cannot, for emphasis, be fighting 2025 crime with 1972 laws.
Now, on his part, President of the West Africa Action Network on Small Arms, Ken Kinney, says they will not relent on their efforts until the bill is signed into law.
The purpose of this media engagement is to involve the media fully in their urgent advocacy for the passage of the Arms Commission Bill into law at the shortest possible time. The aim of this evening engagement encounter with you, the media, is to enhance media awareness, promote responsible reporting practices, and support efforts towards the passage of the bill. To equip media personnel with skill to understand the national small arms and light weapons legislation, policies, and regulations, as well as existing international instruments.
Now, the minority in Parliament has served notice to summon the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Dr. Agnes Namomu, to brief the House on timelines and strategies put in place in ensuring the implementation of the Affirmative Action Law. Now, this follows the appointment of only 2 women out of 19 cabinet members. The appointment has sparked concern due to a significant gender disparity, contrary to previously pledging to ensure that 30% of political appointments would go to women. While many have raised doubts about President Mahama's commitment to gender equality, Deputy Minority Leader and Acquah MP Patricia Appiagyei says the law must be implemented, as they will summon the sector minister to give clear timelines in ensuring implementation of the law. She spoke to Starr News.
expect him to do the needful. We assess and then try to live by it. And it is not just the appointment of ministers. You have read the tall list, the engagement is what I expected. And still we are not meeting it. Please, we cannot turn the law into a white paper that will be left on the shelves of somewhere. It must be implemented. As I speak now, I have filed an urgent question requesting the Minister for Gender to give us timelines, a strategic way that he's going to ensure the implementation of the affirmative action law. It is very important. If we don't pay particular attention and call them to respond to the law after it has been passed, we are not going to achieve anything. Because there was a policy of ensuring the achievement of 30% at all levels of public service. Has it ever been achieved? So we should call them, we should call everybody to order to ensure that they become aware and ensure that it is well implemented.
And that's what we have for this morning's news. For more news updates, log on to starfm.com.gh. I am Nanama Acquah. Enjoy the rest of your day.